Hello, I'm Ash from What Culture, and I'm here to talk to you about something a little more fun today. If you've ever wanted your own say on who gets cast in a movie, well, now is your chance as we're doing a fan casting on the Fantastic Four. Hooray! In no actual way will this have any bearing on the movie or what happens in it, but it is a bit of fun, so I hope you enjoy it. So here is my question to start it all off. How do we do the Fantastic Four justice on the big screen? They've already had a few tries at it with various different casts, and it hasn't always been very successful, to say the least. So at least with 20th Century Fox giving up the properties to Marvel, we're now going to see something new from the certified bad boys of the superhero genre that we've come to know and love. Marvel have already proven with Spider-Man they can take something a little stinky and imbue it with daisy fresh goodness like a good pack of Lenore, so let's see what they can do with Fantastic Four. With that in mind, again, I'm Ash from What Culture, and this is us fan casting the Fantastic Four in the MCU. But before we begin, don't forget to subscribe to stay notified. Ding, ding, done. 8. Galactus, Bryan Cranston. One of the hurdles facing the MCU in Phase 4 is someone that can fill the giant, purple, sweaty, probably a bit veiny boots of Josh Brolin's Thanos and can be just as evil and convincing in the role. If you didn't think anybody could fill the evilness of Thanos, well, think again, as Galactus is your guy. Nobody does evil as well as the person that eats planets for breakfast like Cheerios. Sustaining himself on devouring worlds sounds pretty dramatic, but it also slots in really well with the cosmically inclined nature of the Phase 4 thing. Enter Bryan Cranston, who can be completely threatening when he turns it on, see his descent into Heisenberg and tell me otherwise. But he'd also be able to bring plenty of weight and complexity too. He's flirted with motion capture before, as we've seen in Power Rangers, so it's something he'd definitely be able to do, as well as come into the same role as Josh Brolin and get his performance enhanced rather than taken over. Maybe this time they'll be a little less heavy on the chin though. That's probably a note for you, little note. 7. Silver Surfer, Mackenzie Davis. Right, okay, I know she's a woman, I know, but let me explain why she'd be a perfect Silver Surfer, as there is so much that goes in her favour that maybe just having a dick isn't that important. So for the Silver Surfer themselves then, the character goes around and finds worlds for Galactus to devour instead of eating their own, making it a little trade-off and functioning as his herald. So just to reiterate, the Silver Surfer is a shiny, smooth, slippery person with a crotch as smooth as the bonnet of a Porsche, so it really isn't that much to push it to an androgynous sort of zone and have a woman play it, but it's up to you. You tell me in the comment section below if you disagree and we can discuss it. But this is why Mackenzie Davis would be perfect for the role. If we look at her role in Black Mirror, we can see that she's great at playing these characters that struggle to relate to people whilst being super well-meaning. So she'd be able to bring all of the known qualities of the Silver Surfer and imbue them with something new and fresh and a little bit spicy and interesting. That's at least what I think. The Silver Surfer can be a dude or a dudette. It's 2018, guys. Get with the program. 6. Doctor Doom, Adam Driver. The most famous Fantastic Four villain and a rival of Reed Richards, Doctor Doom is a man of both science and the mystic arts. So someone who plays him needs to be both intelligent seeming and have power over otherworldliness. Whilst the MCU has wasted one perfectly good choice in Mads Mikkelsen already, there is still Adam Driver, who we've seen as Kylo Ren in the Star Wars films. Now, he's used to playing some angsty, aggressive little boy trying to prove himself, but also in his other work there's a deep emotional range that he can bring to the role, which would be perfect for this, as well as he's really good at wearing a mask, so you know, the future's set for him. The future's set. Dr. Doom, welcome. Good day, Mr. Driver. We've already seen that he's physically imposing with his stint as Ben Swolo, as well as having the sort of villainy that's complex because he's doing it for all the reasons that he thinks is right, but actually they're really horrible and loads of people die, so that would be great for Doctor Doom. 5. Johnny Storm, Zac Efron. Johnny Storm has, in some weird way, proven himself to be like an incubating breeding egg for bigger and better superheroes to be born from. Chris Evans played him back in the day and then became Captain America, as well as Michael B. Jordan, who's now Eric Killmonger in Black Panther. So there's some serious names floating around the stormy boy from Fantastic Four. Despite that though, the character himself hasn't been done full justice, and the MCU needs someone who can do the humour of the character and be a bit of a dick, and yet also show a much more serious side when required. Zac Zac Efron has proven almost too many times just how strong his comedic chops are, as well as having such ridiculous good looks that it's very easy to believe him as a serial dater of women just as Johnny Storm is. I believe it. I believe it. 4. The Thing, Terry Crews. One of the harder Fantastic Four characters to get right because he needs to be more than just a big old wall that walks around yelling it's clobbering time, which is a very bad impression, but still, he needs to be this big, rocky, bouldering heart of the Fantastic Four peoples that is just warm and nice. And you'd have a hug from him, but it would hurt a lot. But you'd still want one. Important. Huge in stature, the Thing is also protective, and despite being made of stone, has a soft heart and sweet nature underneath it all. All of these qualities are embodied by the fantastic Terry Crews, as he's proven time and time again in Brooklyn Nine-Nine. Nine-Nine! Crews is a fair bit older than the other actors on this list, but that just means he's had more time to become incredibly charismatic, hilarious, and perpetually annoyed, which suits the Thing's character so well. If you look at his stint in Deadpool 2 and that sort of superhero persona that he took on, it would be a perfect fit and chance for him to blossom in the MCU properly. 3. Sue Storm, Emily Blunt. Perhaps the easiest and most obvious casting is for Sue Storm. People have been clamouring for Emily Blunt to take over the role since her stint in A Quiet Place, and it's easy to see why. Blunt has everything required to be the leading lady in a superhero movie. Her roles in Edge of Tomorrow and Sicario prove that she can more than handle big action movies. Her supporting turn in The Devil Wears Prada, where she gets so many of the best lines, shows off her comedic talent, and in A Quiet Place we see her as the maternal leader of the family who has to keep it together. She's always there when things are going wrong to stay strong and support her family, so if there's a more perfect invisible woman, I do not know it. She is your guy, your lady, your woman for the role. She's it. Number 2, Reed Richards, Joseph Gordon-Levitt. The leader of the Fantastic Four, Reed Richards is the greatest scientific mind in the world, coupled with an inherent desire to do good, but can also often be blinded by his obsession with science. What a nerd. Whilst many have pointed to John Krasinski as the perfect fit, for being Emily Blunt's husband, so they have a perfect chemistry, as well as looking really like the character in the comic books, Joseph Gordon-Levitt is actually someone who's overlooked that could fit it really well. He has the charisma that we've seen in films like 500 Days of Summer and Inception to lead an MCU movie, and should have no problem sharing chemistry with the rest of the team since he's almost always likeable, if a bit smug. He's also capable of playing someone intelligent and nerdy, as we've seen in basically all of his films, which makes for a perfect Mr. Fantastic. Number 1, writer-director James Gunn and Nicole Perlman. I'm going to be honest and say that we wrote this before the whole James Gunn thing came out, so take of that what you will. Weird, charming, and often dysfunctional, the Guardians of the Galaxy have often served as the Marvel de facto family, heralded by James Gunn. Now, we all know that stuff has been going on with him and the whole situation is a mess, whatever side you're on with it. So to push that all to one side and look at his vision purely alone, his vision is something that would suit this film perfectly and create a fun Marvel film with it. Whether he deserves to do it or not will come to fruition when we see what happens with the whole Disney thing, but so far, just don't be a Twitter edgelord. Just don't. Nicole Perlman as a writer, however, from the first Guardians of the Galaxy movie would be a perfect fit, and one that hasn't made any big Twitter mistakes so far as I've heard. She'd be great at bringing the out there elements in with fantastical as well as some realistic ease, things that we've seen in Guardians of the Galaxy 1, as well as the first Thor, as well as her having the first draft of Captain Marvel underway. She's got some fantastic ideas that she's great at translating from her mind to the screen, so it'd be great to see in this film too. And that's our list. Who do you think would be perfect in the Fantastic Four movie? Let me know in the comments section below. As for now, don't forget to like, share, subscribe, hit the notifications bell, and I think that's everything. So please come back for more, and thank you for watching. Bye!